Hello, my name is Darian, and I'm a Bachelor of Science Geography student in my fifth year of studies. Today I'm going to cover two topics: how to classify soils with a simple flowchart, and exploring the munsel color chart. Both of these skills you'll need in this class and most likely in the future. As you can see here, I'm going to follow the flowchart given to me by Mariano. As long as you get a good sample of soil and understand what the chart is asking you to do, it's pretty easy.
Alrighty, so we're out here in the fields. Hopefully, you guys can hear me. And we're going to use this nice fancy chart that Mariano will hopefully get to very soon for determining what the texture of your soil is. So it says to start with a 2.5 centimeter diameter mass of soil at the sticky point. So let me grab some soil, grab some water. Shouldn't need too much water. Yeah. See there. So a bowl, maybe a bit bigger than that. Let me grab some more. Sure. Ball about that big, 2.5 centimeters. So now we just follow the flow chart. So a cohesive ball has formed. Yes. So does this ball fall apart easily? Not really. So now we need to roll it into a cylinder, which it's kind of doing. Might have a little too much water, but that's okay. So it is rolled into a short cylinder, yes, and it rolled into a thread. Probably, I don't think it's going to do that without falling apart. So it does not. So it does roll into a thread. No, it does not, actually. At the bottom it says what the cylinder is, which is about 5 centimeters long and 1.5 centimeters in diameter, which this is. And a thread, it says, is 13 centimeters long and 0.6 centimeters in diameter. And this is not going to form a thread. It's falling apart way too easily. So the ball does roll into a short cylinder. Yes. Does it roll into a thread? No. So we go over. So now you need to feel, does this have lots of, does it feel sandy? There's quite a bit of coarse grit on your fingers, you can say. So I'm going to say yes, it does feel sandy predominantly. So I would say that this soil, based on the couple tests that I have done, would be a sandy loam. Now, your soil will probably be different, and you just have to follow the same steps. You probably will have to go down further the checklist, but it is just very easy to follow. It's either yes or no questions. Yes, does it fall apart, or no, does it fall apart? The feel, you might have to get a little bit A sandy will feel like sandpaper or a skin abrasive. A silty or soapy feel will be nice and smooth like a bar of soap. And it says that the thread bends into a U, so you take the thread, bend it into a U, bend it into a circle. You just follow the steps, and then it tells you what your the soil texture is.
Now it's all good that you can say what kind of soil yours is, but how can you describe what color it is? That is what the Munsell color chart is for. Normally, these books are very expensive to buy and would be provided by the university, but that isn't available for us right now in 2020. So, Mariano has found a solution to this problem. There is a smartphone app for showing the Munsell color chart. So the Munsell color chart looks something like what's behind me right now. This is an app called Munsell Color Chart for Android. I'm unsure if there is a similar app for iOS, but I am sure somebody will let the class know. Um, so now that you have your app downloaded and you open to this and you say, this is a lot of colors. How do I do this? So Munsell divided colors into really three basic values, you could say. So you have your hue, your value, and your chroma. So your hue is the basic color, red, yellow, green, blue, purple, and the in between of them. So along the spectrum would be red to red, yellow, 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 green, all the way around to purple, red. This gives you your broad, like, what about the actual color is. So behind, you can see that as I move through, so this would be your red, and then we can go over lighter red. Now we're into our red purple. Let's go back to our yellow red. So now we have on the up and down vertical axis, we have value. So that's how much light or dark is in the color. So you can go from a sky blue to a navy blue. Let's flip to the blues, and I can kind of show you what I mean by that. So we can see up here, this is probably like a sky blue, and down maybe a navy blue. So while they are the same hue and the same chroma, we'll talk about that after, the only difference between this color down here and this color up here is the value. So now we can go back to our yellow-red, which is for geography. It's probably what you're going to use most. So now we'll look left to right. So this is how intense the color is. So you can see over here, this is like a mostly gray, and then all the way at the end, that's a pretty bright yellowy red. So even though they are the same hue, the same value, this is the difference between a low chroma and a high chroma. So, for example, let's find a purple of medium lightness and fairly saturated. So let's say that would be 5p 5/10. So let's go find, first, we find our 5p. So we're 5p. So now we go 5, which is the value. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we go all the way over to chroma 10. So this is 5p hue, 5 value, 10 chroma, and we can see that it's this color, which is what? Mauve. So now that you can kind of find what a color is described as, the harder part, and what everybody here has to do, is you have to take your color that you have, is your soil, and you have to match it as well as you can to a color chart. And that's what I'm going to do next for you. Excellent. So now that you have your soil, now it's time to actually see what color it is. So in front of me I have my soil, my phone with the Color Munsel app up. So now it is the task to take what you see here, this color, and match it to whatever comes up over here. So what is probably a good place to start is 5YR. That is pretty much going to be your lots of your typical color soils. You might have to go into the 2.5 YR maybe, or and then probably maybe into the 10 YR, maybe down at the bottom for some soils. So 5 YR, pretty decent start. So we can see that our value for the soil is quite low. So we're going to be looking for pretty much majority just at the bottom, values of like 1, 2, maybe, something like that. So let's start down, let's say 5YR 1, 3. So to me, I mean, it's close, which is good. That means we don't really have to go too far. So let's see what 1, 4 looks like. That didn't make it better. That made it worse. So now we go 1. I think that's too dark. And then going, we can't go down because we're already at 1. So 2, yeah. Value 2, too bright. So we're going to be into the ones for value for this soil. So that's too dark. Yeah, that's pretty close. 1, 3, 1, 4 is definitely too much red. So let's go down. 1, 3 is probably close. I'm just going to look at the 7.5 just to see what's up. So that's what, 7.511, 7.512. I think that's the closest so far. Let's try the 10YR. Go back, look at the bottom. Yeah, I think that's too much yellow in there. So let's go back to the 7.5. Find our current contender for best is 7.5YR 1/2. So that's the current best. Let's see if we can go make any better in the 5s maybe. Yeah, 2.5, that's way too much red at the bottom. Let's try 5 again. Yeah, the 5YR 1/2 is pretty close. I think the best one for us, or at least for this soil, 7.5YR 1/2. So in my field notebook, that is what I would record as the color of the soil. Thank you for watching the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it and that you learned something, and this will help with the field notebook, either for texture or for color. So thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day.